When you use the word co-op, it conjures up images of hippie communes and folk music. But in 2012, cooperatives could be described as the hidden success story of public housing. In New South Wales, almost 1,000 people live in cooperative housing and demand is growing. But unless the state government follows through on its commitment to transfer public housing titles to the community sector, that demand could go largely unmet. Sharon O'Neill takes a look at two very different New South Wales co-ops.
In a quiet suburban street in Canley Vale in Sydney's southwest, a morning ritual is underway.
For me, I do Tai Chi every day. But here I have people to do Tai Chi three days a week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
These Vietnamese residents are part of the Van Lang Housing Cooperative. Do you like living here?
Oh, yes, I am very happy. Because before I rent the flat, it's very bad. And the landlord make trouble for me. Sometimes she come and ask me to pay money in advance, or sometimes increase the rent. But here I am happy.
Ju Nguyen and his neighbours live in these recently built one-bedroom apartments. The co-op is part of a small but growing sector of social housing in New South Wales.
What we have at Van Lang are 17 Vietnamese seniors, all over the age of 55. There's a modest number of between 55 and 60. Most are 70 plus. And what we're finding when we chat with those members is that the younger members of that community are providing some support and assistance to those who are aging more frail and more infirm.
All the people here are very nice to me, and after I have moved here, my health has improved much better.
These units are owned by Common Equity New South Wales, a not-for-profit community housing provider which was established to support housing cooperatives across the state.
Under the current arrangement, we hold just over 430 properties, which are managed by 34 cooperatives. In effect, that means that those cooperatives make decisions locally about the management of tenancies and about local responsive and cyclical maintenance. And we have responsibility at Common Equity for growth and for the structural maintenance, together with developing the policies and the protocols within the cooperative housing model.
It's an arrangement that works well. The residents, like other social housing tenants, pay 25% of their income in rent up to market value. They elect a board to manage this unit block and 4 other complexes, like this one on the adjoining property. The newly built apartments were jointly funded by rental surpluses from the Van Lang Co-op. It's the only cooperative property that is not owned by the state government. Do you enjoy living here?
Yeah, very, very. Because before I live in with my friend, I share room over there. Not good for me. Yeah, now I have in here. I'm very, very happy.
Across town, and another morning ritual is underway in the inner city suburb of Erskineville.
I come home from wherever I've been, and I have no great desire to go all over anywhere. I'm really comfortable, and I'm just surrounded by great people. It's fantastic. We are I feel I'm very, very lucky.
It's not uncommon to find the residents of this co-op, Emarua, enjoying each other's company in the courtyard.
Well, Emarua comes from originally an artist collective that existed in Sydney in Ultimo during the mid-80s and had got to a point after about 5 years of being an artist-run initiative for exhibition in a gallery space that they were concerned about some of their members needing housing, and they learnt of a program that the housing department and community housing were starting up, which was cooperative housing.
It would become one of the first housing co-ops in the state.
25 years later from the original idea, now we have something that is really working well. We've got our routines in terms of managing all the tasks, the finances and the maintenance and the admin. We've got a great team of people, and we've got lovely housing.
Like the residents of Van Lang Co-op and other social housing tenants, these residents pay 25% of their income in rent. But unlike other forms of social housing, they look after this property themselves.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, you've got that stuff about the reno?
What we're after here, and the main ideal of this, is the tenants run this place. You know, it's tenant participation, so we were set up as a cooperative and running to the process that cooperatives must run to in having, you know, office bearers, committees that do jobs, elections annually, and a financial audit that gets done annually. So all those sort of processes was about getting the tenant in control of their living situation.
That sense of ownership extends to how well people look after their homes. We have some of the lowest insurance premiums within the sector because our homes are well maintained, well cared for, and at very low risk.
This works when you've got people who are committed to helping. Now, people that want community housing or social housing don't often want the admin package that goes with it. So I don't think it is for everybody. But the other thing is, for a co-op to work, the members have to be in control of the selection, and you have to have people with reasonable community skills. And for those people, and that'd be a heap of people, I think it's a great idea.
And I've been here for about 7 or 8 years, I think, which is the longest I've lived anywhere. And, you know, once you're here, you think, well, why would I live anywhere else?
Unlike the newest Van Lang property, the title for this complex, like all other co-ops in the state, is owned by the New South Wales government. And that's an arrangement Common Equity New South Wales wants to change.
We're hoping that our partners in government will see the merits and benefits of cooperative housing alongside other community housing provision, and transfer the title of 100 nation-building properties that we received in 2011, which will enable us to borrow and construct at least 20 additional properties in the next year or so.
Common Equity, along with other community housing organisations in New South Wales, is anxiously waiting for the state government to honour its agreement to hand over titles to almost 6,000 homes built under the federal government's economic stimulus plan. The titles will enable the not-for-profit housing groups to raise loans to build further low-cost housing. A review ordered by Finance Minister Greg Pearce has been completed, but there's no decision yet on when any of the transfers will take place.
It's very disappointing because there has been a hiatus in decision-making, and that slows down the process for our strategic development. Thanks for coming in, Tony.
Common Equity New South Wales hopes a recent report by Dr Tony Gilmore on the state of co-ops in New South Wales will convince the government that this form of community housing represents value for money.
Well, I think one of the benefits for the community is that this is actually quite a cost-effective way of delivering affordable housing. Public dollars are scarce to put into new housing schemes. Therefore, if we can make the money go further, that's good. Well, in a housing co-op, people are contributing on a regular basis through their time and through their efforts. They're working in their own community. And there's also good examples of the fact that they're looking after the properties better, so they don't require so much expenditure on maintenance and improvements.
The residents at Van Lang know how lucky they are. They also know that there are many others like them who are hoping for the same housing opportunities.
I would like to say that I hope in the future the government will have more flats and co-ops, so the elderly people have more places to live.